Welcome back to the channel. This is Anasam and today we are going to talk about, is Framer new design tool going to beat Figma, or is it any better than Figma? Everyone is saying just use Framer because it's going to skip the additional step that we used to do as a designers for design in Figma and then convert it through a plugin to Framer, which is very seamless. But is it really worth it? I wanted to give you an honest opinion. I wanted to use it and I wanted to see what Framer is going to do in 1 month and what stuff this looks like. So this is why I'm making this video. So the problem is nobody is realizing that right now is Framer does not feel as design friendly. I mean, Framer is awesome in terms of when it comes to web design, but as a whole, it's a design tool. It does not feel like it. If you are developing or animating effects, styles, everything, components, database, it is pretty great. Framer is doing awesome job, and to be honest, I love Framer and Webflow, both of them, because they are no code and it still implements whatever you have in your mind. The problem here is that it doesn't feel like a design tool. Like I'm talking about the new design tool, not about the Framer experience overall. We know Framer's pitch is very seductive. I mean, why would you use two tools when one does both of the work, right? But here is, a little catch in it. So before telling you that catch, let me explain how great the tool is and let me show you how much flexibility do we have in the Framer tool. So here you can see we are on the Framer's platform on the pages panel, where we can see a design and a pages panel. So for the design panel is you can have multiple multiple frames in one canvas. For example, I wanted to have multiple variation of this banner. Maybe I just wanted to create it like this, and I can manage it. I can put it front. You can change it, you can create variations, you can create multiple pages. It's just like Figma. You can create whatever you want. You have free canvas to work on. You can ideate, you can collaborate. So it does not have that constraint that you have to follow certain guidelines like we see in the pages panel, like there. If we have we are designing responsive website, so it helps us creating and imagining and brainstorming and ideating multiple ideas in certain limitation. But the problem here is there are a lot of things that you cannot do with it right now, because as a designer, as an experienced designer, I need to have multiple things. Like Figma is a great tool. Figma has done a lot of things in polishing and design tool, and you cannot just beat it because Figma has great plugin support, great styles, great effects, frosted. Even it has liquid UI of iOS right now, and it all does not here in Framer, and a lot of things is not in here. And for example, if you want to, I wanted to mask this glasses reflection and into this. I wanted to mask this, so there's no option to mask here. Like there's no any option to mask this image in this eyeglass image. So why I'm saying the Framer is not following that design tool vibe right now for the designers, because it's not built for that initially. It feels like Canva is a great tool for non-designers, but for designers it has limitations. Still, it's a great tool for collaborating, for creating ideas, making slides. Similarly, Framer is a good tool for web design. It still has so many limitations inside it. In Figma, I move fast. It's muscle memory, auto layout, constraints, components. It just all clicks into one place. On the other hand, in Framer, I have to make sure I'm using the right shortcuts. You cannot use control square bracket to move layers from bottom to top. You cannot use that in Framer. So this is kind of short keys and other items that Figma has, Framer does not. Also, Framer I think Framer has done a very good job, but at the same time, it's not just a design tool, it's a build tool as well. And it has its reasons to make you design in a constrained environment because it needs to be built. But in Figma, you are free to do whatever the hell you want to do. And you can create patterns, you can create gradients, you can create gradients in Framer. You can create a lot of things that you cannot do in Framer. And the AI version of Figma is offering such great value. I don't have to write multiple, dummy text right now. You just say to the Figma AI that replace the content, or I want to edit an image, I use AI. I want to use replace names with AI. You can do whatever you want with Figma. Right now is holding very strong stance because it has those features, and Framer is expensive. Obviously a design tool is free, but at the same time you have to have some kind of limitations in that. You have to think what you want. For example, if you're an early designer or learning, you can use Framer design tool for web design. And you can use components, you can use a lot of things to make you understand how web design tool works. But obviously, just like Figma is just not constrained to web design. You can design anything. You can do a social media post, and you can design anything in Figma. Mobile apps, design system, variables. You can have conditions in design, even though there's a design tool. You can have all that. Prototyping is massively better in Framer in terms of web design, but you cannot do mobile application. For a designer like me, I work in UI UX, so I have to design websites, web applications, mobile applications, UI UX design, creating wireframes, a lot of things that I do in Figma that I cannot just do in Framer. So this is why I feel like there's this big gap between those two tools, and Figma is winning for definite reasons. But if you're an early designer who cannot afford Figma and you want to learn design tool and ship faster to your clients or customers, you can definitely try Framer. You can use it in your workflow. If you ask me, would you use Framer design tool? And to be honest, I might. Even though Figma is brutally better, but when it comes to shift from design to build tool, you need to fill that gap. For example, I want to build something very custom, a very detailed design and properly, managed everything. I would not go to Framer first. I would go to Figma first because I need to do research and user research, customer research, understanding what the client wants, and then do the wireframing and then go to design. But if there is a website or marketing, a static website with 5 pages, 10 pages, and you want it to look cool as fuck like these websites, so you don't have to use Figma for that. And here is the free alternative that nobody talks about. Penpot is an open source Figma's alternative which is free, and honestly, for the most part, it does the job shockingly good as Figma. If you know Figma, you basically know Penpot because the interface is very similar. The workflow is very similar. Workflow is made for designers, and it's great for small teams. It offers self-hosting, which means you can host it on your server and run your Penpot with a secured environment. It has great plugin support because it's open source, so everybody is designing for it. It offers almost every single feature that Figma has, and it recently launched variants, which is pretty awesome. It has some limitations, but for me, Penpot is a great free alternative of the Figma. And if you don't want to pay Figma to $20 a month, you can obviously use Penpot plus Framer's workflow, and it works very good because it offers you free design tool which is made for design, that is Penpot, and you can use it on Framer when you want to ship it. But the problem here is Framer offers plugin for Figma for not, Penpot. So you have to, rely on its import feature. Obviously, you don't have Framer's plugin, but you can export in XVG and import in Framer. So I give you the pros and cons for 3 tools: Penpot, Framer and Figma. I didn't want to include Penpot in this video, but I wanted to compare it with two other tools as well, because Figma, Framer, and Penpot are the big giants right now. Penpot has 1 million users. And at the end of the video, I will tell you which framework works for you and which is the workflow that you should go for. Here is the table that I wanted to show you. This is the table. The learning curve of Figma is very easy. Framer is also not very hard, so it's moderate, and Penpot is also easy. If you know Figma, you know Penpot. Component system in Figma is advanced, Framer advanced, and Penpot is also advanced. Figma obviously has much more depth into the variants and all. You can connect and create multiple properties, but with Framer you can have multiple states and multiple variants, but it does not have multiple attributes and properties in design tool. Plugin ecosystem for Figma is obviously great. Framer is limited but is also very great, and Penpot community is growing a lot, so let's see where we goes with that. Prototyping is excellent in Framer. To be honest, if you want to convert your website directly from design to build, and you can do whatever the hell you want, and it just works great for websites. So for websites, it's excellent. Figma is obviously great. Penpot is, in terms of prototyping, is limited, is not as extensive as Figma. Publishing, it does not offer any publishing. Figma does not offer any publishing. It has Figma sites, but Figma sites is not a very great tool for website, at least for now. Obviously Framer can be direct to web, and Penpot does not have any, publishing tool. It's a design tool. Figma has industry standard collaboration. Framer has good collaboration, but you have to pay extra with every editor, just like Figma. And Penpot offers obviously free collaboration, which you can, use it with any amount of amount of team members, at least for now. Figma is $15 a month right now. I think it's $20. I think it's $20 these days. Framer is almost the same, but it's for the site. Per site is $20 per month. Penpot is free, obviously. Speed to design is better in Figma and Penpot than obviously Framer, but Framer is also very good. Speed to publish, the only publishing software here is Framer, obviously. So notice, the patterns. Figma wins at design, Framer wins at build. And that's literally no tool best at both. And that's actual point. You're not choosing wrong or which is the best software if you pick one or another. You are choosing what are you optimizing your workflow for? What are you designing? What are you making? It all depends on that aspect. There's no best tool in the world made for everything, okay? So it depends on your situation, what you want, what are you doing, what kind of workflow do you have, how much money do you have, and actually how do you work. Do you have budget constraint? Do you have timeline constraint? Do you have project complexity, team size? There are a lot of factors when you choose a design tool, and I don't want to make it complicated for you, showing you all of that. I want to make sure that you pick based on what you want to do, not the hype. If the Framer does launch a design tool which is one tool for all, it still does not make it a better tool than Figma or Penpot in terms of design. Honestly, try all of three if you can and choose which is great for your workflow. To me, Figma plus Framer works, but I cannot leave Figma as of now because I need to design phone, mobile application, iOS application, I need to wireframe, I need to build design systems, I need to have component library. I have a lot of things to do, so I cannot just shift to Framer. It does not offer any of this. It is great for website design tool. You can design websites, you can create components for the websites, and you can build it right in the Framer. I would use Penpot if I can, because Penpot is doing awesome things in terms of design tool. Penpot has all those things that Figma has, and it is doing much better in terms of plugin support, and in terms it's free and collaboration is free, and it's a web-based software, so you are going to export the code in HTML, CSS, SCSS, which Figma does not offer HTML2. So there are a lot of things that Penpot is better, and you can watch a full standard video in my channel for why Penpot is better. But the thing is, it all depends on your use case and all depends on your workflow and framework. So that's it for the video. I think you got the gist what I wanted to tell in this video. I think it's a long video now, but I will cut it short as much as possible. So take care of yourself, take care of your family and friends.